What is up? Welcome to your third day of Outdoor Ed Live! I am so happy that you guys are coming and joining us today on this beautiful Earth Day. If you don't know me, my name is Twig. My muscles are still super sore from our dance party last night, but we're back and we're ready to learn today. Couple things about me. I kind of told you a lot about myself. We shared a lot last night, but more stuff. Every morning I eat a cream cheese bagel and I sprinkle Tapatio on it because that is just gets me going in the morning. It's just like caffeine for me. Need it every day if I want to survive. Things I love to do out in nature is running. I love trail running so much. I try to do it every day if I can. And I love climbing trees and getting in creeks and all that fun stuff.
Hey everyone, I'm Lumen. I like all the same thing Twig likes. He just stole everything about my identity, so that's cool. Something that you should know about me as a naturalist is that my favorite award at Outdoor Ed that you can do at home is called Save the Earth Award, and it's if you go outside and pick up trash and garbage off the ground. It's a super cool award that you can even earn at your home. And we just wanted, before we get into things, wish you a happy Earth Day. It's such a good day to reflect on all the things that Earth does to provide for us and all the ways we can help reciprocate. Give back to the Earth in the same ways that it gives to us. So, we're going to bring Lady Nightshade up to
I think I saw her wandering around.
Yeah, she's always around. To get us funky and loose and ready to learn. Lady Nightshade.
Get up out the chairs.
Okay, I'm here. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Oh, it's a beautiful day today.
It is a beautiful day today.
Wow.
Super excited to be
It's
here.
Earth Day, did you know that?
I did.
Nice.
I did know that.
Cool.
Okay, you know.
Yeah, we did.
Are you trying to insult me? Okay, I'm just gonna get this over so you don't want me to be here. So this is how you do this exercise. We're gonna do 5 counts. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna really shake it all out. Try to shake off those limbs. Try to get them off your body.
Should they be sitting in their chairs? right
No,
now?
that's exactly what I was gonna say, Twig. You should be standing up at home and doing this so you can get yourself nice and
There's some
energized.
space. It's going to get wild.
Make some space. Make some space. Are we all ready now?
So ready.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. I just realized it
Well,
probably.
Roots is juice.
I forgot to explain that it was gonna count down. I hope you
think
caught
they got
on.
They're the smartest 5th graders on this
Wow.
live stream.
Oh yeah. Okay, you should be nice and energized now, and you should be listening to what
Thank you
Twig
so
and Lumen
much,
have to say.
Lady Nightshade. All right, we are going to use this newfound energy that we have to sing a song. So keep on standing, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our song. So this song is called Wild Thing. And you'll get what that means a little bit later. And basically, we are going to be singing verses, the naturalist and me, and in every verse there is going to be a pause. And when that pause happens, your goal is to try to think of the word for that animal based on what it eats. So I'll give you a little bit of a clue. If an animal eats grass and plants, that might be an herbivore.
Vegetarian.
Or a vegetarian. So I might have given away one of the answers, but start thinking of answers like that for this song. And the reason that we're singing this song is because there's so many wild creatures in this forest right here and in your homes and where you are, and they are all around us living in this environment. And we today are going to be talking about these environments and the different ways that they connect and are created. So this is Wild Thing.
All right, this is a repeat after me.
This is a repeat after me.
Okay. Wild thing.
Wild Thing.
You may make the forest sing.
You make the forest sing.
You make everything.
You make everything.
Connect to everything.
Connect to everything.
Because you're.
Because
In this part, you just like really gotta go all out, like you're at a rock concert, and say, "My wild thing."
my wild thing.
Cool. Yeah, it's like that. Nice. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
1, 2, 3.
Wild thing.
You make the forest sing. You make everything. Connect to everything. Cause you're a wild thing.
Oh, wild thing.
Mule deer. I think I love you. But I wanna know for sure. Eating up all those grasses and leaves. I think that makes you a herbivore.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wild thing. You make the forest sing. You make everything. Connect to everything. Cause you're a wild thing.
Bobcat, I think I love you. But I wanna know for sure. Hunting all those meaty little animals. I guess that makes you a carnivore!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wild thing. You make the forest sing. You make everything. Connect to everything. Cause you're a wild thing.
Turkey vulture, I think I love you. But I wanna know for sure.
Eating all those dead animal carcasses all over the floor. I think that makes you a scavenger.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wild thing. You make the forest sing. You make everything. Connect to everything. Cause you're a wild thing.
Banana slip, I think I love you. But I want to know for sure. Eating all that dead plant matter and turning it into soil. I guess that makes you a decomposer.
Last time!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wild thing. You make the forest sing. You make everything. Connect to everything. Cause you're a wild thing. Woo! Woo! More fuzzies. 2 are.
We could hear you all the way from San Mateo County. That was pretty impressive.
That was great.
All right, now, next up, you're gonna use this energy that you have and go run and get a notebook and a pencil. Notebook and pencil. If you don't have a notebook, get a piece of paper, because we're gonna be drawing today. Go for it. I'll dance for you as we wait. Thank you so much, Lee. I say beautiful.
Amazing.
Wow, that was great. hey, Cameron.
So, I know it seems like everything's fine and dandy up here, but me and Twig have been arguing all morning.
We're putting on a facade that we're friends right now, but oh my gosh, I am a little mad.
It's just kind of annoying because I'm always right and Twig doesn't understand that.
Whoa, let's back it up.
But
I don't think that's the
let's see
truth.
what they think. So,
Okay.
we've been thinking and arguing and debating in a healthy, friendly way whether or not I can survive up here with just what's around me. Not with going to the store, not with going to a house or anything, just with what the forest has. I think I can do it.
Remember, we live in the middle of the woods. There's just trees and plants. I don't think that we can just survive up here forever.
Well, I just totally disagree. Maybe you're not as good of a naturalist as I am.
Oh,
but
okay, that's a
I
discussion
know
for another
I
time.
can. And we want to hear your comments below whether or not you think that I could survive up here with just what the forest has. And while we wait for your comments, what do you all think?
Who's on my side? Who thinks we cannot survive up here?
No way.
No way.
It's just not possible.
I don't know. I feel like you definitely could. Yeah, I agree.
What? Any specific things that you think we would need to survive?
I don't know.
Trina thinks you can survive.
Who does?
Trina.
Thank you, Trina. I think so too. Comment maybe below what you think I would need from the forest to survive. What do you think I would need? Yeah.
I just have one more. Raymond says maybe not forever, but perhaps a few weeks.
Huh.
I can maybe
Plausible.
get behind that, but what would we need to survive? Like, what
Yeah.
things that what things in the forest would we have to go run and find if we needed to survive up here? I don't think there's enough stuff out there.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, Hazel.
Okay, well, I think you guys wouldn't be able to survive because we don't have any Wi-Fi in the forest. And, like, how are you going to be able to do your TikToks and your Instagrams if you can't have Wi-Fi?
No Wi-Fi, no
Actually die
TikToks, no
without
Instagram. Bam.
Oh, does that
so
traumatize
bored.
you?
So traumatized.
Yeah. I don't need Wi-Fi. There's so many other things to do. I love to climb trees and crawl through the creek, and I could do that forever. I could do that and find some creeks to swim through. You know, maybe befriend some animals, become one with a herd of deer. Who knows? What else would we need? Yeah.
How would Twig survive without a cream cheese bagel and tapatio every day?
I need my cream cheese bagel and my tapatio. What am I going to do about that, huh?
Is that a need or a want?
Oh, that is for sure a need. I'm not backing down on this one.
Well, think
It
about
might be a want, possibly.
the forest provides a lot of food, right?
Yeah, like what though?
Are you just gonna eat leaves?
No, I could.
How? What?
Hazel basically just eats leaves. She's a vegan.
We've got some comments from the audience.
Ooh.
Comment lady, comment lady.
Comment lady.
Welcome, comment lady.
Here are some of the things that our students think you guys might need. Jen is saying that you have to know what's edible in the forest.
True.
That's going to be really important. And Haronji thinks that you need food and shelter. Where are you actually going to live? Amira says you definitely need food that you can find.
Okay.
And then Adela brings up a key one. And I agree. I don't know where you're going to get this, but water outside, you know, without a faucet. How are you going to get things to drink?
Huh.
That is a lot of good ideas that we're thinking about. So we got to know what we can eat before we can eat anything. We got to have that knowledge. So we have food, and we just talked about all of
A
this food with
shelter.
Wild Thing.
I feel like a shelter that you could just grab some sticks and some leaves and, you know, make a shelter.
Okay, maybe a shelter with sticks and leaves. I don't think that's where I want to live, but maybe Lumen is okay with living.
We're just seeing if we could do it. Not that I
Okay.
want to.
And then we need a way to get some water.
Well, it's been raining a lot. You could just.
It looks like a pretty blue sky up there. I don't know if that's going to be enough for you.
Good point.
You drink a lot of water.
I think we should see if they can survive where they are.
I agree. I think this maybe, I don't think we're going to find a common ground on this. So maybe we'll
probably
turn it over to you guys, and you guys are going to see if you can survive where you are.
So, we're gonna run around here and see if we can find the things that you mentioned in the comments. And while we're running around looking for some of those things, we want you to go and take 1 minute to run and find as many things you think you need to survive in your own home for at least a week. You need, not want.
So pretending that your doors are locked and you're alone in your house, what do you need? Are you going to go to your fridge, your room, how are you going to get your shelter, how are you going to get your food, all of that stuff?
We've got a few more comments of things that you could find in this forest. Nicole said you could eat bugs as a food source.
Wow.
Great protein.
I love bugs.
Emily's wondering about a toilet you would need.
We got that covered, Emily.
And Smita says the water, people were asking about water, fresh water from a creek could be a good water source.
You did say you love to crawl through the creek.
That's true. So, we're going to run and go find as many things as we can while you do the same thing, and we'll come back, and we want to hear what you comment below what you grabbed from around your house. So, are you
You
ready?
have 1 minute to come back and comment what you found that you need to survive.
Lady Nightshade's music is going to get faster and faster, and by the time
Mario
so
Kart.
fast, you should be back. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. I hope that you now have with you everything you need. Let's see what you got.
Well, you were all out exploring. The students were busy thinking of things that they would need. They were thinking of other things you would need in the forest. Sarah was saying that you're going to need a filter for that creek water. You could drink the creek water, but how are you going to filter it? But then, I love this. Sophie comes in and she's like, you could boil it.
Oh, Sophie!
But then, you know, we're thinking, how are you going to boil that water? Luckily, Eddie made the comment of you're going to need some matches. So.
Or the good old-fashioned way.
Or that. Might need to practice that a little bit, Lumen. But speaking of different ways you can make things, Kyle was saying you need rocks and sticks to use as tools.
Oh.
So Kyle make those tools to make fire.
Yeah.
And then as the students went around their house, they said, Emily said she needed a bed, and someone else said that they needed avocado toast to survive.
Emily, you don't know.
And Trina said they found fruit, veggies, water, blanket, clothes for 3 days specifically.
Whoa.
A tent, a portable charger, an iPad, and a pocket knife.
Wow!
Trina
Let's see if our
is all set.
Let's see if our nacho state is good. Who's got something they want to show? Trout, why don't you come up? What is that?
So first of all, I think I joined that club that you were talking about.
Save the Earth Award!
I picked up a piece of trash. I'm gonna pocket that for later. But then I found some edible plants. So I found some mint right here, so I can make some like nice tea. Maybe warm up boil some of that water that you were talking about. Make some good tea. I got some redwood leaves that has some good vitamin C inside of it.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So you found some food?
We got some food.
Who else has got something? Poppy looks like she's got food too. Poppy, what snack did you grab?
I grabbed a banana slug, but not for a snack. That would be rude. No, I grabbed the slug for a friend. I wanted some company, and I love watching the slugs. One of my favorite things to do. They're so fascinating. Definitely not a snack.
Oh, Soleil looks like she's super excited to show something. What do you have?
Well, I will show you. Here I come to show you what I've got. It is a bowl of water from the creek.
Don't drink it, kids.
I'm not going to drink it. The kids were, I was thinking about it, and then the students reminded me that you definitely shouldn't do that because that's gross. But I didn't even need a water bottle.
But you have the rock you could also use as a tool.
I could.
We're missing like one big thing the students mentioned. Yeah.
So I
Found a whole bunch of materials that I could start to use to build my shelter, especially this really awesome big piece of wood would be really awesome, and it's thick so no rain could get through and I could stay nice and dry if I found a whole bunch of pieces like this one.
Cool, thank you. So we've been talking about all of these things that we need to survive up here, and they all kind of come together for this one big thing that we want to talk about today, and that is habitats. So, a habitat is a home for a living organism. And habitats have 4 main requirements for them to be a livable place. And those 4 main requirements are water, food, shelter, and adequate space.
How can we remember all of those 4 things?
I'm so glad you asked. I have this great game! And I need you all to stand up where you are at home. And don't worry, we're not going to make you sing yet. But what you're going to do is, to remember these 4 requirements for a habitat is going to be water, shelter, food, and space. Nice. We need that space so their animals aren't competing with each other for those water and food and the shelter. So enough space where a bunch of things could live. Just to let you know. So we're going to play this game. And it's called 1, 2, 3 habitat. And when I say habitat, you're going to choose one of those 4 things. And if you do the same one as me, then you are eliminated at home. So you have to be in the neutral position. And, well, this will just be a practice. Don't worry, you won't be eliminated just yet. Not that cutthroat. And 1, 2, 3, habitat.
Oh.
Eliminated. I'd be eliminated.
So since I was doing the same thing as her, I got eliminated just now and I would be out of the game.
See ya. So,
I think it was a practice round, Twig.
yeah, good thing.
You won't be so lucky next time.
Yes.
Neutral position, everyone. Okay. 3, 2, 1, habitat.
No!
All right.
If you are still in, put it in the comments below. Let us know if you're still in the game.
All right. 3, 2, 1, habitat. No one? 3, 2, 1, habitat. 3, 2, 1, habitat. Oh, jeez. 3, 2, 1, habitat. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, habitat. 3, 2, 1, habitat.
Right at him.
Yeah! Woo! So you can play this game with your family at home. Don't cheat like I just did. But, it'll be fun. So remember, those are water. Thank you. Food. Could be any food you want. Shelter. To protect you from the elements and predators. And space. Cool.
Final frontier.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to be talking about those 4 elements of a habitat for this whole rest of the lesson. And in order to do that, you're going to have to get those notebooks and pencils out. So what we want you to do right now is first, let me welcome our special guest, Lady Nightshade.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Hello.
We have such a fun thing for you today. Do you have a favorite animal?
Oh my gosh, Twig. I have so many, but if I had to choose one, I know exactly what it would be.
Okay, perfect. You guys should think of your favorite animal in the comments down below. Maybe you can enter and tell us what it is. And pretty soon you are gonna start drawing what your favorite animal is. And actually, that's what you can start to do right now.
Okay,
Lady Nightshade.
should I get close
Start
to
to
the
draw
camera?
your favorite animal.
Yeah.
So remember, you're telling us in the comments what your favorite animal is, and you can also try to guess what Lady Nightshade is drawing.
Okay, everybody. If you think you know what I'm drawing, I want you to write it down in the comments. So let's see. I'm going to start with the body. There's a line there. There's a line there. Big chubby body. And I'm going to make, what do I want to make next? I'm going to make the head. There's the head. Start to put up some ideas if you think you know what it is. And then let's see, let's draw some legs. Let's do that one. And I'm going to put a kiwi? You're wrong.
Rabbit.
A rabbit? No.
Platypus?
That's pretty good, though. And I'm going to draw 4 toes on the front limb. Not a tiger. 4 toes. Although I will throw you off.
Bat.
Not a bat.
A puppy.
A puppy? No, it has 4 toes. 4 toes there. I'm going to draw a nice long tail. Nice long tail. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4 toes. I'm gonna really get that. Nope, not a king cobra.
Dinosaur.
Not a dinosaur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes on the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes on the back here. That's a little stubby leg, but all right. And then I'm gonna put an eyeball right here. And an
Lady
eyeball.
Nightshade, they're convinced it's a bat.
It's not a bat. I don't know why you got a bat from this. And I'm gonna put a little eyes. It's a platypus. Not a platypus. Let's see. Let's keep putting stripes on it.
All right, that is looking pretty good.
Oh, I think I know.
What do you think it is, Lumen?
Maybe if you drew like a little something right there, I think I'd give it away for me.
Like a smile?
It's a salamander!
Oh! Here, I'm gonna redraw this little leg right here.
While Lady Nightshade is redrawing.
There we go. I'm done.
Nice, Leanne and Henry.
Leanne and Henry guess it. It is a salamander. So, next up.
Should we see what some of the other naturalists drew?
True.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, Soleil, you look super excited.
Yeah.
Everyone give Soleil a round of warm fuzzies as she comes up.
This is my favorite animal, and I drew a horse.
Beautiful. I love it.
It's smiling, which horses can't really do, but this is a fictional horse, so it's
Let's
close
give
enough.
Soleil a horse round of applause. Nice. So we got a lot of different drawings. So we'll bring up the naturalists in a little, but.
All right, so now that you hopefully in your own notebooks have written or have drawn your favorite animal, your next task is to try and decide what your animal would use out of the 4 main components. And if you need a little help remember what the actions we did and the words, like water, shelter.
And be specific for your animal. So what kind of shelter would your animal need? What kind of environment or space would they live in? What food does your animal eat? And you can use one of those words like herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. And water, unless it's carbonated, will just be water.
And maybe you can say where it gets its water. So if you think it gets its water from a pond or an ocean or a river, stuff like that. So once you have thought of your stuff, make sure to put it in the comments below. If you write in the comments your animal and the 4 things it needs, then your comment might be shared to the rest of the group.
Lady Nightshade, do you want to come draw yours just while the...
What do you want me to? You want me to draw? Let me see if I got it. You want me to draw water, food, and then you said shelter and space, right?
Yeah.
Let's go up here so that they can see.
I'm gonna draw these 4 things. And I'm gonna do that now. Let's see. Can you see me well right here? Alright, let's start with food. What do salamanders like to eat? Well, you can try to guess in the comments, but you know what I know what they like to eat? They love eating these little guys. And put a guess if you know what this is.
Just keep commenting what animal and the 4 things your animal needs.
Yeah, oh yeah, also
Guess.
tell us what your animal eats. And tell us what where your animal, what kind of shelter it uses or what kind of water it drinks.
Lady Nightshade, we're going to bring Hazel up to show an example of what she's been working on.
Okay. As a disclaimer, I'm not a very good artist, but I drew a little sea otter because those are my favorite animals.
Is it a sea otter on a sea otter?
Yeah, it's a baby. They keep their babies on their stomach. And I drew the food source that they like to eat. They actually grab rocks from the bottom of the ocean and use the rocks as a tool to open like clams or maybe sea urchins, which I drew down here. And they live in the kelp forest. So I drew some kelp and they like to get tangled in it and that keeps them anchored.
Nice.
Yeah.
So notice how she had her food source and her space clearly drawn and labeled on her drawing.
Nice things.
So
Chart,
if
you want to come show yours too?
Remember, if you have any examples of your favorite animal and what it needs, make sure to put them in the comments below.
Cool. I drew this nice shark right here. And so for its shelter, I drew a coral reef. So it's going to hang out in coral reef so that it can eat up all the food, all those fishies. And then the water is just all around it, so it doesn't really need to go anywhere for water. And then space, it would go up out of the coral reefs into the open ocean and hang out in the open ocean when it wants to swim around and have its own time.
Nice. Anyone else want to share their
Wait, comment lady's
Oh,
coming.
looks like comment lady's on her way.
We've got a few interesting comments from the students. Stephanie's favorite animal is a snow leopard, and they're still thinking about what they need. But Barbara is also like the top predator. They like lions.
Nice.
And they noted that lions eat meat, and they need to drink water, and they need a lot of space.
To roam around.
Yeah, they need a lot of roaming space. Chrysia, I'm going to see if the naturalists can maybe guess Chrysia's favorite animal because they didn't write it, but they say they live in the water, and they eat bigger sharks. What could Chrysia be talking about? I don't know. Maybe Chrysia, you got to respond again. Finally, we have Haranjit, whose favorite animal is a tiger.
Nice.
A lot of top predators.
Haranjit told us that their tiger eats other animals. They live in caves.
Ooh, nice. I like how they put this specific shelter example.
Right? They were really specific. And they said they love to live in the forest where they can get shelter.
Nice.
And of course, they drink water in the forest as well.
Gotcha.
Got a lot of carnivores.
Seriously,
Oh,
a
no.
cool animal.
I'm liking these specific descriptions of what these animals need.
We have Henry, who's, I think, calling back to Monday Campfire, wrote about the kiwi bird.
Ooh.
So for the kiwi, the shelter is trees, food, bugs.
Nice.
For water, they can get it from a river, and they live in the forest.
Nice.
Thanks, Henry.
Thank you for these comments. These are all great examples of animals and the 4 things they need in their habitats.
Lady
One
Nightshade
more
has
good one.
comment lady flying all
She's
over
going
the place.
crazy.
Well, I also really like this animal, and I have a feeling Lady Nightshade likes this animal too. Should we ask them?
Yeah.
Nicole, you and Lady Nightshade have something in common. Nicole loves snakes.
Oh my gosh, I like snakes too.
And she said that snakes eat rats. They live down deep in holes.
Cool.
And they need a really hot place to live. But of course, they also need to have water at the same time. Do you think some snakes may live here?
Yes.
Kind of hot today.
They'll be out. Lady Nightshade, can you come up here with your board and just
Yes.
stand by us?
I drew them. Should I
All
show
right,
them?
so
Sit right here.
hopefully
Okay.
everyone should now have your 4 components of your habitat that they need. But I'm going to teach you about something a little bit sad that sometimes happens to these habitats, and that is called habitat loss or habitat destruction. And what that means is that sometimes certain aspects of animals' habitats are destroyed for various reasons, and a lot of those reasons are due to humans. And so we have a perfect example of habitat
Oh
loss.
no! What are you doing? No!
It's a frown now. We have a
I'm
perfect
terrified.
example of habitat loss for you.
gonna
So
do?
sometimes humans do over farming. They farm too much of the land and they use a lot of water, and they also create some deforestation and cut down all these trees, and that can sometimes lead to a drought, which means that there's not enough water for these animals to survive. So what we're gonna do with Lady Nightshade and what you guys are gonna do at home is imagine if there was a drought in your animal's habitat, meaning that in your animal's habitat there wasn't enough rain and water for that animal to survive. What would happen to the 4 main components? And to give you a little starter on this, let's think of the specific 4 that we mentioned earlier. So we obviously know in a drought what would happen earlier for water.
Water gone.
But what about the food? How would the food be affected if there wasn't enough rain in the forest?
How would the shelter be affected too if, things can't grow? A lot of things.
Wait, so I think I have some ideas.
Yeah,
Because salamanders...
Lady Nightshade's doing this. Do it at home and make sure you're commenting what's happening to your habitats and your animals.
I'll walk through what would happen to my salamander. My salamander really loves water, so this is a pretty bad situation for them. So what I drew here is for their water source, they actually really require habitats with lots of moist things like plants that carry moisture and like the fog that comes in and collects on the dew. So that nice wet habitat would disappear. Their source of water would be gone. And they also rely on wet soil too. That would be gone. And then, of course, that's their water source. Their habitat here, their shelter, are these ponds. And they come to these ponds and they lay eggs. But because of the drought, those ponds would dry up completely. No pond. So they would lose their shelter. And then, of course, I drew a little worm here. And worms, they need moisture too to survive. So these guys would go away. And then these logs. This is where a lot of their space is. They hide under these logs. And when these logs dry out, they can't use the logs. So then, this is there's nothing left for this salamander. I think it might not just be an unhappy salamander. I think it might be a dead salamander.
No!
Oh, that's really terrible.
Ooh, it looks like someone's telling what's happening to theirs.
Jaime said that if its habitat got lost, its prey would die out, and then it would die out as well.
Oh, nice.
So remember, keep entering your comments down below. We want to know what would happen if a drought hit your habitat.
Any naturalists want to come up and show us what happened to theirs?
I have a question for the naturalists. Yeah. Edward was telling us that their favorite animal is a wolf, and they need mountains. They eat meat and fish and plants.
Nice.
And they really need a territory or a cave to survive in. What would happen, for example, if we started building houses all over the mountain where the wolf lived?
Whoa, that is
What
a
would happen to
great
Edward's favorite
example
animal?
of habitat loss. If we decided to start building houses all over, they would have no more space. So let's think, what would happen to a wolf if you decided to build a home, a human home, right where it was living?
Mountains, yeah.
That's a pretty great question. Does anyone have any ideas? Maybe we can help Jaime out. Edward out. Maybe we can help Edward out.
Yeah.
Someone was talking about a drought could happen, and then the prey won't have water, and then the predators won't have food if the prey die from the water.
Nice, I like that a lot. Does the naturalist want to come up while we wait for what would happen to Edward's wolves? Or tell us what you think would happen to Edward and his wolves?
I can tell you what I think would happen to Edward and his wolf.
Just the wolf, I guess it's not Edward's wolf.
Yeah. We know you love the wolf so much, Edward. We're giving this wolf. This wolf is all about you. If we built houses all over the mountain where the wolf lives, it might not be able to find as much food because we cut down the trees and we changed the forest, and those animals that were living there will have to find new homes. And all the wolves that are left, they're crowded into a smaller space, and they're competing over, there's very little food left because we put houses there. And now we have wolves in a neighborhood, and nobody really wants a wolf just like walking down their street right outside their front
And
door.
they definitely don't want us walking down their caves, Cool, so when we talk about habitat loss, oh, we got another one.
Got another comment from our comment lady.
Thank you so much for your good comments. We really appreciate them.
Well, some of our students are thinking about animals that live in water, and what would happen if all the water went away?
Whoa.
Alina was talking about flamingos and how they eat shrimp, which live in the water.
Wow.
And if suddenly we don't have enough water due to many different factors, then those flamingos wouldn't survive.
True.
Emily similarly was like, polar bears need somewhere to live, and they
True.
live on ice, and if all that's melting, then they would live in the ocean, and what would happen?
Yeah, and that's a really real example of what's happening now, too, with climate change. That's a really good one, Emily. So,
I have a flamingo joke.
sure. Want to tell it? Or no?
Sorry.
good flamingo jump.
Okay. Oh, the suspense.
Why do flamingos stand on one leg?
Why?
Oh.
Well, Twig.
Funny you ask.
I want to know.
It is because if they didn't stand on one leg, they'll fall over.
That is quite the knee slapper, Bruce.
You are quite welcome.
Thank you so much.
Man. So, it's super relevant to talk about habitat loss today because it's Earth Day, and we want to think about and have you comment all of the ways you think you can make the world a safer place for all things to live in. So ways you can stop doing things or do more of so we can protect habitats and not experience that habitat loss that we were talking about. So I think it's time for another song.
I think it is too.
And while we're singing this song, we want you to sing along. We also want you to think about real ways you can help protect the planet and protect habitats for all of the Earth's inhabitants, not just us humans.
And
So, yeah.
And while you're thinking of these things that you can do to help our planet, remember that you are a 5th grader. So if we see in the comments that you are yourself are pledging to buy an electric car, that might not be the most realistic thing that you can do for our planet.
Unless you're
Remember,
having some wicked lemonade stands.
exactly. Some of them are pretty crazy. But remember, think of things that are realistic that you can walk out your front door or maybe even stay in your house and do tomorrow to help save our planet.
Nice. All right. So this is a repeat after me.
This is a repeat after me.
And a do as I do.
And a do as I do.
Cool. And we're all standing up, so you should be too at home. This is about to get crazy. So, you must reduce it.
You must reduce it.
Reuse it.
Reuse it.
Recycle today.
Recycle today.
Go tell your neighbors.
Go tell your neighbors.
Your family.
Your family.
Do it today.
Do it today.
And then you gotta get really dramatic, which Twig is great at, and say, "This can't go on!
This can't go on!"
And then you look someone dead in the eye and say, You know you've got to change.
That really made me want to change just now.
You know you've got to change. Cool, so that's the chorus we're gonna do as we have different verses of ways that we could be better. So, are you ready?
Born ready.
That's good. You
Must reduce it, reuse it, recycle today. Go tell your neighbors, your families, do it today. This can't go on. You know you need to change.
You've got to change.
Baby. Before the landfills are full and
closed, you've got to change.
Baby, your wasting ways are growing old. You got to reduce it, reuse it, recycle today. Go tell your neighbors, your loved ones, do it today. This can't go on. You know you've got to change.
When you're asleep, baby, your faucets drip and your lights are on. Water is life, baby. You're wasting waste and you're wasting energy.
You must reduce it, reuse it, recycle today. Go tell your neighbors, your families, do it today. This can't go on. You know you've got to change.
When you're at meals, baby, the food you don't eat just goes to waste. Bread crusts and milk, baby, I see them sitting there on your plate. You must
Reduce it, reuse it, recycle today. Go tell your neighbors, your families, do it today. This can't go on. You know you've got to change.
got to change. Baby, the air is brown and it's not too warm. Tired taking a walk. Baby, instead of driving and wasting fuel, you must reduce it, reuse it, recycle today. Go tell your neighbors, your families, do it today. This can't go on. You know you've got to change.
Nice! Wow, that song made me feel so inspired. I hope if you. And it looks like we've got pledges on Earth Day. Woo!
We've got so many ideas. Wow, I'm so impressed with these ideas from these students. We have Haranjit again thinking that we should reserve territories for some of those favorite animals we were talking about.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good one.
What do you think of this one? Trina wants to plant more trees.
Woo!
And she told us there's a special Jewish holiday where they do that. What's it called? Very cool. Hopefully maybe we can all celebrate that. Kyle was also mentioning how important trees are for beavers and making their ponds, and they use them for their habitat. And Madhavi was then talking about water and how important it is to grow the flowers that let hummingbirds survive. I took that one very personal because that's my nature name.
There's some great pledges and looks like we have even more.
More pledges. All right, so Barbara is pledging to use reusable water bottles and less plastic.
Oh yeah.
Less plastic. That's a big one. Think about all the different single-use plastic you could reduce. And with that, Gary said we should just recycle and compost more.
Yes.
Nice, Gary.
Yes.
All right, Trina, this is a really creative one.
Trina, you're on top of things today.
We could reuse cardboard boxes as gift boxes.
Whoa!
When you get shipments, you
Reusing.
can reuse it.
I like it.
Edward just said walk. We should just walk more.
Nice, Ed.
For sure. And then Mita said quick showers. Do you want to talk about that?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's a huge thing for us at Outdoor Ed. We have something called the 2-Minute Shower Club, and that's our way. And that's our way of trying to reduce our water usage here at Outdoor Ed. And you should try it at home.
It's not just a club here, it also can be a club at home.
And you can get an award for that too, called Save the Drop. Forget about the turtles.
So next time you take a shower, maybe keep that in mind, and then the next live stream you can comment and tell our tech crew if you joined the 2-Minute Shower Club.
Or the Save the Earth
Pretty
Award
elite.
that we talked about earlier too. We'd love for you to join those. And now that we have a few more pledges.
More pledges, the more the merrier.
This one is really interesting. Maybe you guys can tell us a little more about it. Kyle was suggesting planting water-resistant plants.
Ooh.
How does that help? Can you explain that a little more? Anyone have?
Shanty. Drought.
Yeah.
Ooh, Shanty looking eager to answer.
Shanty, get in there.
Especially here in California where there's a lot of drought, it's important to have drought-resistant plants so you're not using a ton of water to like water your lawn or something like that. So if you have drought-resistant plants, they don't need as much of that water.
Yes. Also, quick side note, I know we're using your parents' names because that's how you're commenting on their Facebooks. We know it's all of you, and we apologize that we have to use your parents' names, but just so you know, we are
You
calling
could sign it
you
with your
out.
name if you want us to use your name.
There you go. You can write it in your comment. Habitats for Lost Animals is a suggestion that Ava had.
Ooh, nice.
And Nalini said that you could use the search engine Ecosia. Ecosia.
I don't know what that is.
Soleil just told me about that. Do you want to tell everyone about that?
Soleil, tell us about that search engine. I think it's a really cool idea.
Okay. It's a search engine, so the same way you would use like Google to look up things on the internet, you just use Ecosia instead. And their company like plants trees with the money that they make from existing. So instead of just like having it go to normal profits like a business would, they use it to plant tons and tons of trees. And we just checked, and they had almost planted 100 million trees.
Whoa.
Crazy. That's a lot.
That is
Cool.
amazing.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, last one from Nicole. Become a Visco girl. Don't use plastic straws.
For sure.
That's funny. These are such great pledges, and thank you for thinking about them. We hope that you can stick to them because we only have one Earth, and it's our job to protect it for everyone and everything that lives on our planet. So, before we go, we have one more really, really cool activity that you can do in your own backyard or on your sidewalk. You can really do it anywhere. You could even do it in your home for little, like, maybe spiders that are in your corners, you know, the cobwebs. And we're going to teach you how to build a habitat. And the naturalists are going to do it along and we'll show everyone what they're doing. But you're going to, well, it's more the shelter part of the habitat. But you could also put some water and food so you can be more welcoming to the critters or whatever living organism you're inviting into that shelter. But you can gather some sticks like this, or maybe some leaves, and you can build like a little log cabin, and it can be small for things like ants. We're gonna be bigger, so you welcome something like a banana slug, or maybe a squirrel that's in your backyard, or the birds. You know, there's so many different ideas. So we're gonna give the naturalists some time to go build those shelters and habitats right now. And we're gonna go follow them around to see what they're doing.
And this is something that you can do when the live stream is over right away. So you can get outside and start building your habitats.
Cool, let's see what Shanty's thinking of doing, and then maybe we can come back to him. What are you thinking about building for? Whoa, you gathered those sticks quickly.
I gathered them earlier when we were looking for
Nice.
the pieces of the habitat. I'm making like a roof right now. I don't know what animal would want to live in here, but
Something
really it could be
small.
anything. It could be like a bunch of little bugs,
Yeah.
or maybe like a
Maybe,
mouse
get
or
in there and
something.
see.
And like maybe the mouse would dig a hole
cool.
in the back here, something like that. I don't know. It's really up to that animal and what they
Nice.
want to use it for.
Cool, we'll check back in on you. Let's
Looks
see.
like Roots and Poppy are getting creative over here.
Are they-
It looks like they already have an animal that's gonna use their habitat.
cool.
Let's go see what's happening.
We are making a shelter for this banana slug that I found to be my friend earlier.
Not Wow. your
snack. No, it wandered off and then came
watch
back,
this.
which tells me.
Watch this.
Oh yeah, roof and everything.
And while you're looking at these little habitats, you can comment what they remind you of using one of those naturalist skills we learned about earlier in the week.
Enjoying his habitat. And you know what? Because banana slugs are decomposers, if he gets hungry, he can just take a little munch out of the leaves. So he's
That
got
is
shelter
perfect.
and
Cool.
food.
Let's see, whoa.
That's our best
Pacific
shelter
looks like
yet.
she's got
It's
some
true.
big structure going on over here.
What you're working with, Pacific?
So I'm using these sticks, and then I'm trying to use the redwood needles and some of this lichen to build a roof so that the water doesn't get in, and like a pretty decent sized creature could get some shelter in here.
What are you
Maybe-
imagining?
Well, I was imagining a banana slug, so maybe if that banana slug gets a little wandery, it can come to its vacation home over here.
Nice. Let's go around the corner and see what's going on. Ooh, this is a different one.
Building also a banana slug home, but it could be a home for another critter. I found a little mushroom that I'm gonna put inside
for a snack?
a little snack.
Nice.
And I'm trying to cover it up, so I made the base structure. Now I'm gonna cover it up with some leaves as well to make it a little bit more rain and wind proof for the animals.
Looks like Soleil's making something for a bigger animal over here. Should we go check out what she's doing?
Yeah. All right. I'm like building off of an existing structure. This stump has a big hole down the center. So it would provide a lot of protection if an animal lived down in here. And there's a lot of like soft soil. Feels like a pretty safe place. So I was just adding on
What
and
are you
building.
thinking it's for?
I don't know, like maybe a squirrel or a larger animal that needed to.
Cool.
have
The
some
students could
protection
probably do
there.
that in their backyard for squirrels. They're everywhere.
Definitely.
Let's check back in on Shanty before we go.
We have a request to see how to join the Banana Slug Club. If you have a moment.
We do have a moment. Sorry, Shanty, we're not coming back.
Okay.
I think Poppy,
Tell us how,
since
Poppy.
Poppy has been obsessed with his banana slug,
It's true.
all
Do you see the upgrades we've made? Yeah, we added
so
a
you
little
know.
a little
You
loft
know.
ceiling height.
Yeah.
He's poking out.
Slug's like,
I think he really likes it.
How do you join the Banana
Right.
Slug Club?
How do you join the Banana Slug Club? So first you have to find a banana slug. Check. We've got it. Next, I'm gonna go to the banana slug, so I'm gonna take apart this little shelter.
I can help you, puppy.
Okay, thanks, Roots. Now, I feel like there's some variation in how to join the Banana Slug Club, but the way I do it is I always think you first have to ask for permission. It's important before you kiss that slug that it's okay with it. So, Banana Slug, is it okay if I kiss you?
I'd love that, Poppy.
Wonderful, thanks. Then, you have to give it a compliment. You can't just go straight in for the kiss. So, Banana Slug, I think that your tentacles look especially shiny in the sunlight today.
Oh.
It's beautiful, beautiful. Really
Thanks,
glistening,
Poppy.
glistening. Then, because we want to make sure that when we kiss this slug, we're not leaving behind any like skin or oils or anything on its body. So we gotta tuck the lips. Just like that. Almost like you had no teeth. And then you want to go to the slug. We're trying to make this as friendly and easy for the slug as possible. So we don't want to pick it up, we want to go to the slug. So you've got to tuck the lips and give it a kiss right on its back. Just like that.
Oh,
a nice little
nice.
kiss. Get a little slime, some natural chapstick. It's great. And that's how you join the Banana Slug Club.
Poppy. Yeah, Poppy. All right, Naturalists, if you want to come back and join us.
All right, that is an activity that will be perfect for you guys to do at home. You can do it in your backyard, in your front yard, on the sidewalk, really wherever you want.
In your house.
In your house. Think of an animal that you want to be in your habitat and build a home for it. And then you can send pictures to us so we can maybe look at what you have built.
And just before we go, a few things to remember is that in just a few minutes, oh my gosh, comment lady!
Fire!
This is really important.
In 15 minutes at 11:15, we are doing a broadcast fully in Spanish. So if you are a hispanohablante, come and join Cholita and I. Que vamos a hacer una lección solamente en español.
Sweet, thank you. And then,
But the fun doesn't stop there.
oh, it's so cool. Come on up.
So tonight, Hazel and I are going to be hosting the campfire, and we're going to be doing a special activity that requires trash.
Yep. So we want you in between now and tonight's campfire to find 5 to 10 pieces of trash hanging around your house, maybe stuff that you would have thrown away you can keep, and we're going to use it for a special activity to celebrate Earth Day at the campfire, 6:30 to 7:30 tonight.
And remember,
Slime on! Bye!